Good evening and welcome to Collector Cars. I'm Lance, your host. With me in the studio, a couple of gentlemen that haven't been here before. Mr. Bob Quant, how you doing? And Mr. Tim Krebs. I got the name right?
You got it.
All right. And over in that third seat is Mr. Bill Mergens. And guys, before we get to talking about what you're here for, I got to get with this guy because I made a bet with him. We were originally supposed to have the pedal cars at Super Cruise, and there was some technical difficulties. So instead, we decided, I think Mark and Mary Petty and Debbie and Barry decided that we would race into three-wheel granny bikes instead on those. Well, there were a few things that I thought they had some weights in mind, and I wasn't sure if Mark was pushing or pulling. But anyway, he smoked me. Not once, but twice. I mean, I even made him do a lane change, and then I said, well, you got the good bike. I mean, I didn't know. He brought a whole pit crew for this. But Bill won the race. He will, in fact, sit in my seat and host the Collector Cars TV show for his win. And when he does that, I want him to be in proper attire, so I have a little gift for him to show him my heart's in the right place on winning the race. By the way, I needed oxygen when he stopped. I got him a Becky original Camaro shirt because he is the Camaro man. So if you will pass that down to Bill Mergens, we want you to be properly dressed.
Excellent. Look at this, and I will not wear this until I am hosting the TV show.
That's for your inaugural
cool
run in the seat.
Thank you.
How's that?
That was very nice.
Not too shabby.
You didn't have to do that, but that's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Yes. We'll be showing footage on that in the coming weeks, I think. Right?
Yeah,
There'll be a lead up to this.
Dave's got the whole race on tape, so we'll be showing that. Maybe we'll do that probably one night before you actually host the show. But Bob and Tim, you guys have something very, very different. Had never heard of it. Somebody said to me, hey, did you hear anything about a new museum opening up in Englewood? And I went, no. So Les Kurtner came down. You had your sign on the window. He came down early morning one day, and he said, yeah, there's a sign up. It's for sale museum. And he was, I guess, reading the information you had there and so forth. And I thought, what a clever idea. This is something that could really fly. So let's tell the folks, first of all, it's called the For Sale Museum.
Yes.
Now, where is it actually located?
It's at 1871 Englewood Road, Englewood in Lemon Bay Plaza.
Lemon Bay Plaza, okay. Now, it used to be Kmart, and then there was another big building next to it. What was that one?
Well, Kmart ended up turning into Consignment America, and then there was Sparkle Bright Pool Company next door. We've taken all of that space and
so not only the Kmart, but the other building too.
Yes,
fantastic.
And the garden center, the old Kmart Garden Center, which we hope to put some boats outside, and some project cars.
Cool.
We're hoping to bring in some antique and classic automobiles and boats and memorabilia on consignment.
Very cool. Very cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Rick opened up Treewords. Opened up the museum down in Punta Gorda, basically to show his personal, private collection of cars, which are just to look at. But when he said, no, this is going to be cars for sale, I thought, that's a pretty cool idea. Now, Tim, according to Bob, you are the one who actually came up with this concept. Now, how did that come about? He said there's a story behind it.
Well, I'm, of course, interested in cars and antique boats and so forth. And I've watched the market, and of course there's a lot of movement in the car market now, whether it's a high or a low. But people are moving through their cars, and a lot of them don't necessarily want to go to an auction, and a lot of them don't want to consign their cars. And so I thought if we had a museum that you could bring your car to display it, air-conditioned with security and so forth, give you an opportunity to sell your car direct with no fees. And
so there's no fees?
No fees for selling, no. We
great.
just charge us storage, our monthly storage fees.
Okay.
And and that's what it is. Hopefully, I've just known a lot of people that actually feared taking their car to an auction, you know, for various reasons. Not that an auction wouldn't be appropriate for a lot of people, but many of them, with their heart and souls into their car, they really want to sell it themselves and have something to say about it. So that's what we do.
It's kind of like an Auto Trader or a Keels and Wheels magazine, but instead of them flipping page by page, they walk through the door and there's all the cars for sale right
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really
Is anybody else doing this around? I mean,
Not that I know of.
I'm told that this is somewhat never been done before. This is a pilot program for the people that own the shopping center. They were very interested and intrigued with the idea. And it's going to revitalize the center. I know the commissioners were looking forward to it. And so it's hopefully this is going to work.
Very cool. It's a very neat idea. Now, you guys are having a grand opening.
Yes.
You're actually having a ribbon cutting ceremony on Friday night, which is March the 5th. Okay, and you'll have the press there, and they'll do press releases and so forth. And then you're inviting the people down on Sunday, March the 7th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have music. You're going to have a band there.
We'll have a band there. And,
I play a harmonica.
Ah.
A mean harmonica. No, actually, I don't.
Yeah. We'll have a live band there. We're going to have a car show going on.
Cool.
We'll have some vendors, and the doors will be open, and hopefully the museum will be full, and there'll be a lot for the public to view.
That's cool.
We've got some real neat
And this
vehicles
is going to
coming.
be constant turnover.
Yes.
See, here's the problem. This is just my opinion. The problem with a museum-type operation is it's the same cars.
Yeah.
All the time.
Exactly.
I've been now Sarasota Classic Car Museum. I do lots of car shows there. Martin Gosby's a wonderful guy, but the museum end of it is mostly the same cars because they're either purchased by the museum or they're consigned there,
Right.
you know, on a long-term basis. Now he has combined with his a classic car showroom. What you're doing is like a classic car showroom on steroids.
Oh yeah. We're hoping. We're hoping for the inventory.
Is that a good way to put it?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it very much.
Yeah, we're hoping for that inventory to turn around.
We don't want to change the rating of the show.
But it should be an ever-changing picture inside that.
Very neat
our
idea.
showroom.
Yeah.
now, if someone were to bring a car to you, do you give them some direction as far as what they might get for it? Do you guys
No.
help that end of it?
No.
Nope,
So you don't set any of that kind of price or give any advice? You're just
No advice, no interpretation for the vehicle. That information will be available on the website and on their car on a plaque. We don't.
So somebody says, "Hey, I like that Corvette."
Contact the owner.
Contact the owner. So he'll get with the owner. They meet at your place and bang.
Yeah, the
do a
transaction takes place off the premises, and
Okay, so
the
you're not
deal is
involved in the
between
transaction
yeah,
at all.
buyer and seller.
We're not
only.
dealers by any means.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very, very cool. Now, I had mentioned to you, one of the things that I mentioned to you was that, what about combining it with an auction? And actually, on a certain day of the week, have someone there to pretty much auction the cars off. In other words, a particular day, get all the sellers there, and the buyers come in and go from there. Or is that, or are you pretty much trying to keep the transactions separate from
Trying
the
to keep
showroom?
it simple right now, and just open up the museum and get the flow of traffic, and
Okay.
see how it works. And there are plenty of other avenues we can travel down
And
to
the thing
expand
is,
on this.
It's really an ideal kind of museum because of your inventory changing all the time. You're going to get people that'll go to a museum and they'll go to it a second time. The third time around, it's like, yeah, I've seen all those.
Exactly.
You know, it eventually gets, for lack of a better term, boring. It's like, well, I already saw those cars.
Yeah.
But if you're doing a turnover, that's what happens with my car shows. We get a lot of the same